Hello there guys and welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be taking a look at Ebony Maw buff. Now it was meant to be value only buff, however they have actually done a bit more with him to a point where I'm actually kind of curious because he could potentially do some things. Now Ebony Maw has been and always will be a very squishy champion, however therefore that makes me fear for his viability in kind of like trickier situations. But I think his damage potential is going to be quite significant, and he's going to be dealing damage with passive degenerations, which is something I'm a big fan of. Anyways, so let's get to it. Vast majority of stuff obviously stays pretty much the same going through his abilities. So he makes non-contact basic attacks. He doesn't have if the opponent doesn't have class advantage, Ebony Maw causes all guaranteed critical hits to miss, which we had a ton of fun with Shang-Chi boss in this month's Cow Quest. You gain missions exactly in the same way as you did before. So mission 1, nullify buff from opponent. Mission number 2, inflict a power steal effect. Mission number 3, cause the opponent to miss. So you basically need to drop a level 1, you need to drop a heavy attack, you need to make opponent miss. Completing all 3 missions in a single fight grants 1 persistent charge. Now they had changed it to 5 for whatever reason currently, but it goes back to kind of like his old system. So basically you gain 1 persistent charge, each increasing the duration of degeneration effects by 10% and reducing the opponent's fury effects by 25% for the rest of the quest, which is kind of interesting. He can make fury effects effectively null and void, which is kind of neat. I like that because he's so squishy, you know. Anyways, heavy attack still steals power, that's all good. Persuasive voice. Now here we have some very significant changes, because one of my personal favorite strategies when dealing with Ebony Maw was just to wait up until he goes up to 100 charges, and that's it. Then you never have to worry about falter ever again. But that will be changed now. So become focused after 7 seconds, this time is doubled while suffering from non-damaging debuff. While Ebony Maw is focusing, the opponent's ability power rate is reduced by 60%. I actually did not know that. I don't think it's new, but I did not know that. Now, if knocked down by a heavy attack or special 3, focus is broken and refocusing begins after 1 second. Once focused, the opponent gains 1 persuasion every 0.6 seconds. So that part is the same. Every 20th persuasion, opponent gains a falter debuff for 3 seconds, giving them 100% chance to miss their attacks. This duration is increased to 4 seconds against cosmic opponents. At 100 persuasion, the opponent is inflicted with Black Tongue for the rest of the fight, reducing power gain from all sources by 40%. I like this bit, actually, to be honest. And increasing Ebony Maw's attack rating by 947. Now, let's take a look at his base attack. How much of an increase is 947? For a 5-star, that's about 30%, 35% attack increase, which is a neat beauty. But that's also going to be your objective in most of the fights. You're just going to want to get to your Black Tongue, so you're gonna want to spend those 60 seconds in the fight kind of like waiting for you to be ramped up. You don't necessarily need to do anything special, you just need to wait till opponent gains to 100 persuasion charges, I believe. So 100, that would be 600 seconds. No, right, not 600 seconds, never mind. Yeah, 6 seconds, 60 seconds, I believe. Anyhow, when Black Tongue is active, inflict the above falter buff every 15 seconds. Now that is good. That's very good, because Ebony Maw just kind of stopped working. He stopped having access to his falter debuff once he reached 100 charges in any given fight. So now he's going to be able to do that throughout all of the fight. Now it's going to make him somewhat trickier to fight, granted, but typically you do end up bringing counter to Ebony Maw anyways. So a special one, when the opponent activates each hit, Ebony Maw nullifies 1 fury, cruelty, or precision buff from the opponent. This expands to all buffs if opponent is inflicted with Black Tongue. So he actually has fairly potent nullification abilities now, which I like. So you just need to kind of like stall, delay, and once you get that Black Tongue, you can very actively buff control. Level 1 nullifying 3 buffs is very potent. Most champions get to nullify 1 in most cases. No buffs were nullified during this attack. The opponent gains a fury buff, increasing their attack rating by 0 for 10 seconds. Now this ability is there so you can artificially give opponent a fury that you can nullify with your own level 1 fulfilling a mission. But fair play. Special 2. Each hit inflicts passive degeneration, dealing 3056 damage. direct damage over 4 seconds. If the opponent suffering from falter debuff, each hit inflicts 2 additional degenerations. Now, I believe he has like 3 hits or maybe 4 hits on his level 2. That means you can inflict a crap ton of degens if you time it correctly with your falters, and that is where majority of his damage is going to come. And that is the reason why he is actually all of a sudden quite an interesting champion. I know for a fact I will want to play around with this lad because I want to see how much degen damage exactly he can put up, and I'm quite interested in that. I don't think he's obviously going to shot past Dr. Doom or anything like that, but at the very least I do think he's going to be a lot less of a meme and will actually be able to deal damage. Now, none of the changes really address the fact that he's so squishy and small helpful, which can still be problematic, but at least he will have some sort of bite to him through his level 2. Now, special 3s is attack grant no power to the opponent, steal 100% of opponent's power gain, and gain a power gain buff, granting 40% of the power stolen over 5 seconds. It's neat. It's a nice level 3. I liked it before the update. Signature ability, when the opponent misses an attack and is inflicted with passive degeneration, dealing 947 direct damage over 1 second. Nice, why not? And that's actually kind of better because you can trigger this 2 or 3 times, I think, throughout the fight. So I like that. While the opponent suffering from falter debuff, their auto block ability accuracy is reduced by 100%, and Ebony Maw grants 40% ability power rate. Sure, why not? But it could potentially work neat with Mystic Dispersion in some scenarios. Other than that, there is not too much changed here. There is a change in a couple of synergies because I think previously with Strife he had a much more significant attack increase, so they had tuned that down. And this synergy is changed as well, where you start the fight focused and persuade opponents 15% quicker. Unfortunately, it's synergy with the Airwalker, so who the hell cares? But in general, Ebony Maw seemingly will have quite a decent access to damage, which is something I like. And Ebony Maw has bits of utility that I like before buff. I like that guaranteed miss on critical hits, which you can situationally cheese. I like the power control and heavy attack, which is quite rare. Fortunately, the main thing is damage, so the main thing is addressed, but the second main thing isn't really addressed here, because he's a champion that's as squishy as the squishy champions may come. His health fall is quite pathetic, and there is very little room for error with him. So I am still somewhat worried about the viability of the champion, partially because of that. But the success or failure of this is going to be definitely in that degeneration damage. Now, keeping in mind that you can ramp him up to 4 persistent charges, thus increasing the duration of your degens by 40%, thus extending the damage the degens does by 40% as well, and then stacking a whole bunch of them, you should be able to deal upwards of 50k plus damage, degeneration damage from your level 2. And then you can just keep going at it and going at it and going at it. So it would be quite interesting to see it in action, for sure. There is an aspect of timing it with your falter buffs, which occur every 15 seconds. And obviously there is the most important aspect of how viable his entire kit is going to be in tricky situations. Now, do I think he's going to be a Q or a W champion? Probably not. Do I think he might have a place in questing? Possibly. Because his level 1 can nullify up to 3 buffs. Yes, they are locked to Fury, Cruelty, and Precision initially, but eventually that is quite potent nullify. And if you have max Mystic Dispersion and you nullify up to 3 buffs, then you basically get back to level 1 immediately. So that could be some very interesting return over there. And in general, they did better with him than I thought they would. After looking at the value update of Nova and a couple of other champions, I didn't think they would do as good of a job. However, the end result, again, is still inconclusive up until he's actually in the game and I can actually play with the champion. But at the very least, he looks a lot more promising than I thought he has any right to be after a value-only update. So I guess I have to give credit where credit is due to Kabam and say that it is a good job. Let me know what you guys think. Are you excited to play around with your Ebony Maw unironically, as in like, are you excited to potentially rank up Ebony Maw, not for memes? I don't know, man. It's gonna be a weird adjustment period for most of us. Either way, let me know what you guys think, and I will catch you guys soon. See ya! Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we have all the